Hey everyone, me Kevin here on Stimulus. If you have a PPP loan of under $50,000, the Treasury Department just released a new 2-page forgiveness document. I'll link that down below. On Stimulus, we're 25 days from the election and politicians want to give us stimulus checks, unemployment pay, money for schools, hospitals, police and firefighters, but they can't figure out how to write that bill because they can't figure out the language. Yes, Steve Mnuchin and Nancy Pelosi are still trying to figure out what language to use, and I thought it was pretty clear. Press 1 for English. Anyway, if we get a verbal deal over the next few days, we somehow need Congress to magically come off the playground and vote on this thing next week. Maybe, ideally, by the 16th. I mean, quite frankly, ideally, it'd be yesterday. But realistically, if it could be done, the verbiage gets done, verbiage, I keep getting those comes, gets done this weekend, and we can vote on this thing sometime next week. Maybe we can actually get 2 weeks worth of stimulus payments out, which should be around 50 million checks, according to Treasury Secretary Mnuchin. The Problem Solvers Caucus remains optimistic this morning and says this is possible, and we continue to get closer, although every time I hear that word, I just want to... Senator Ted Cruz this morning spoke to Trump and says that Donald Trump wants a deal and is optimistic. Ted Cruz, by the way, is someone who's very anti-spending, and he agrees with Trump on the need for a deal, which is a big U-turn for Ted Cruz. But Ted Cruz was very quick to blame Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer, saying that Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer will likely do anything to prevent a deal before the election because it'll look too much like a win for Trump, or at least that's how Donald Trump will spin it. In the meantime, Nancy Pelosi is doing a dog and pony show over how important it is that we have an oversight commission on presidential capacity, basically to try to kick Trump out if he doesn't reveal his health metrics and health data or allow himself to be inspected or examined by a bipartisan group of physician lawmakers with one psychiatrist. I broke this entire bill down in detail yesterday, and I will link that video above here if you're interested in the 25th Amendment and that bill. Stocks are up today on stimulus hopes, but honestly, this is literally just another example of the rich getting richer and everybody else getting screwed. Yes, this is where I should insert that you should get 2 free stocks with Webull when you deposit $100. You get 2 free stocks worth up to $1,600. But honestly, we should all be trying to do whatever we can with the leftover pennies that the government has left us with to buy whatever we can in terms of stocks. But ideally, buy them when the market is red. Nancy Pelosi wrote a letter complaining about Trump having walked away from the deal. That's it. Her Dear Colleagues letter was just another complaint fest. Mitch McConnell echoes this and says there's no way we'll see a deal within the next 3 weeks. Although Mitch McConnell's also complaining about the size of our debt being the size of our economy for the first time since World War II. He's literally had the same frickin' line since July, and I'm sick of hearing it because when you look up, you can type this into Google, St. Louis Fred, F-R-E-D, national interest debt payments. If you type that in, you'll ironically see that while our debt has shot up $3 to $4 trillion, we are actually paying less in interest as a country now than we were in 2019. So our debt's done whoop, and our payments have done ooh. Mortgage bailouts, another example of the rich getting richer. Active forbearance has dropped by 649,000 or 19%, now reducing the odds of mortgage forbearances being a big issue for a potential real estate crisis. We are now down 19% from last week in mortgage forbearances as the first set of 6-month forbearance plans are coming to an end. We now have 2.97 million loans in forbearance. That's 5.6% of all mortgages, and that's down from 6.9% last week. On COVID, Chris Christie is on his 6th day in the hospital. Additional White House staffers have now been diagnosed with COVID. We are now at over 35 individuals confirmed to have been diagnosed with COVID within the White House, though we do not have all of the data. On interviews, Trump will be interviewed on Tucker Carlson tonight. By the way, the Tucker Carlson show is a show that I've made a video about before when they reviewed the HEROES Act. I encourage you to watch that. Just type into YouTube, Meet Kevin Tucker Carlson. At the same time, the Tucker Carlson show was sued for defamation. And the judge threw out the case, saying that no reasonable person takes what Tucker Carlson says as fact. Now, I'm not trying to slam Fox, I'm just reporting the news, and the judge did clarify that Tucker's show is known for making exaggerated statements for the purpose of emotion. So keep that in mind, get your 2 free stocks, get your life insurance in as little as 5 minutes, and folks, we'll see you later when there's hopefully actually a real frickin' update.